Coming up on the Raiders Report, are the Raiders targeting Ed Oliver at the 4th overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft? Jon Gruden said, we are looking for another blank. Find out which position Gruden wants. And my last rumor, are the Raiders actually considering drafting quarterback Drew Lock in the first round? All coming up on the Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, brought to you by My TV Choice app. Download it today at mytvchoice.com and get rid of commercials forever because, let's be real, commercials, they suck. Believe it, baby. Let's go to some rumors now. Barrett will make the 53-man roster. This one's only one Chucky head, and I think it's a small shred of truth. And Alex Barrett was signed by the Oakland Raiders on Friday. And if you're asking yourself, or me, Mitch, who is Alex Barrett? Barrett enters his first season with the Raiders after having most recently been with the San Diego Fleet in the AAF. Before joining the AAF, Barrett spent the majority of the 2017 and 2018 year with the Detroit Lions on their practice squad. With the Fleet, the 6'3", 260-pound defensive end recorded 15 tackles and added 2 sacks in 8 games in the AAF. So now, what is the depth chart looking like? We know we have Arden Key, we have Morrow there, and it's not looking too good. The reason why the Raiders added Barrett was simply because they needed an extra defensive end. They needed some more talent. So, do I think that Barrett's going to make the actual team? No, I gave it one Chucky head. And I think the entire Raider Nation needs to realize just because we go out and sign a player right now at a position that is a huge major need, that does not mean that they're going to make the 53-man roster. It's why I gave it one Chucky head. All right, we added another player on Friday. So, Richards will make the 53-man roster. This one's 2 Chucky heads, and people are talking. I think Richards making the team over Barrett is a little bit more likely. So, signed on Friday, and he enters his 5th season in the NFL. He played with the Atlanta Falcons in 2018. He was drafted by the New England Patriots in the 2nd round, 64th overall in 2015. Now, he played in 15 games last year. He started in 12. He had 39 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and 0 interceptions. Here's the thing with Jordan Richards. Just because he started in 12 games, I do not think that means that he should be a starter on the Oakland Raiders, at least just a depth player. And when I look at the Raiders' depth chart right now, he's going to, I think, behind Levitt and Carl Joseph at the strong safety position. He's also played a little bit of free safety. He can bounce around. But the reason why Jordan Richards got so much playing time on the Falcons last year was simply because that Atlanta Falcons defense was super, super banked up. Worst case scenario, Richards is at least a depth player, and I think there's 2 Chucky heads that he makes the final 53-man roster. So I'm going to ask you, what's the better signing? B for Barrett, R for Richards? I almost wanted to put this reaction before I introduced the 2 players' names just to see what kind of reactions I would get if you even knew who these players were. So B for Barrett, R for Richards. Barrett is the bigger need, but personally, I think R. Richards is the better player. Let me know in the comment section. If you're not already subscribed to the #1 Raiders YouTube channel on YouTube, that sounded weird. Do it already. Subscribe below, youtube.com/Raiders Report. And if you're new to the show, because here's the thing, we just crossed 14K subscribers. I want to give a major shout out to everyone. And if you don't understand my Raiders rumor scale, 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. Not going to happen. 1 Chucky head is a small shred of truth. I like to think 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking 50-50. 3 Chucky heads, this rumor is pretty likely. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. 100% this rumor is going to happen. We got over 14K. So can I get a Raider Nation for life in the comment section? I'll let them rack up a little bit. Maybe take a screenshot, show me that you did it. Over 14K subscribers, Raider Nation. Good job. Can I get a Raider Nation for life? All right, let's get back into those rumors now. Are the Raiders going to change their uniforms in 2019? This one's 0 Chucky heads. Tuck rule, tuck that. The New York Jets released some new jerseys the other day, and now it's just been blowing up that all these NFL teams are considering changing their uniforms. And a few of the Raiders players, Jalen Richard, Dwayne Harris, and Nick Nelson, they posted photos on Instagram, and they basically were just like, guys, we're not going to change our uniforms. We have the best uniforms in the entire NFL, which is why I'm asking you this question. Do the Raiders have the best uniforms in the NFL? I want you to type 4 for believe it, baby, or 0 for tuck rule, tuck that. I'm typing my 4, believe it, baby. All right, my final 3 rumors here, and these are the juicy ones. Are the Raiders interested in Ed Oliver, defensive tackle out of Houston? This one's 3 Chucky heads, and I think it's pretty likely. Now, just because the Raiders are interested in him, that doesn't mean they're going to draft him. But he visited with the Raiders on Friday, and from my sources, the meetings went well. Now, there is another report out there that the Raiders could potentially draft Oliver at 4th overall. We know that he's very strong. He's been compared to Aaron Donald. That's not quite fair. I think he's a lesser version of Aaron Donald. Sure, he tested well. But when I'm looking at potential defensive tackles that the Raiders could be looking at 4th overall, I'm looking at Quinnen Williams, and I'm looking at Ed Oliver. And Quinnen Williams is a little bit bigger in height and weight. Age, they're the exact same age. And you guys know that I love Tom Downey. Go give him a follow at What Going Downey. He's the #1 draft guy, in my opinion, in the industry. And he has Quinnen Williams ranked #1, and he has Ed Oliver ranked #4. And when I see all the good things that Ed Oliver's done, I mean, in 2018, 51 tackles. Now, sure, he only played in 8 games, but Ed Oliver is a super talented player, and if you look at his career stats, they're outstanding. But he didn't play in the SEC like a Quinnen Williams, and that's a really, really big deal to me. So that's all I'm saying, okay? And which is why I'm going to ask you this. Who's the better player? Quinnen Williams or Ed Oliver? I want you to type W for Williams or type O for Oliver. And when I hear about Ed Oliver, there's a lot of hype because people give me stats, and I like stats. You guys know that. That doesn't necessarily mean that Oliver's the better player. I'm going to type my W for Williams because I like Quinnen Williams, but the show isn't about me. It's about y'all. Better player, Quinnen Williams, Ed Oliver. Let me know in the comments section. So who's going to lead the Raiders in sacks in 2019? I asked everybody who is a loyal subscriber, and if you're not already a subscriber, please do. YouTube.com/Raiders Report. It's how you're going to get on the show. So Victor Raphael says Quinnen Williams will lead the team with 8 sacks in his rookie year. It's a bold prediction, but I'm into it. Juan, what's up, my man? Says Mo Hurst in his 2nd year will lead the Raiders in sacks. Alejandro Munoz, I hope that's pronounced right. Perfect. I don't think that one's quite perfect. CSFL Champion says Arden Key with 10.5. Arden Key had 11 quarterback hits last year. Will he get 10.5 sacks? People are talking. And then Caleb Landry says Michele Renz, so that's, I guess, my twin from Italy, will lead the Raiders in sacks in 2019. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. Shout out to everyone who subscribes. Make sure you guys please do at youtube.com/Raiders Report. Who's going to lead the team in sacks? Not quite sure, but if you want to watch all the Raiders games in 2019 to find out who does, there's one place to do it. And you want to bet on those games, it's at BetDSI. Use my promo code Raiders120 for a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $100, you'll get $120 for free. Put down $50, get $60 for free. BetDSI hooked us up with the best promo code on the internet. So Raider Nation, use it. Chatsports.com/bet. Let's talk a little bit Jon Gruden. Jon Gruden wants another cornerback. This one's for Chucky heads, believe it, baby. John's been kind of in the rumor mill talking about cornerbacks, but this one's pretty interesting. So John was talking recently, and he said, I think you need 5 corners. He also said, we are looking for another corner. He also kind of goes into depth a little bit, how he's a little bit worried about Gareon Conley staying healthy and how past corners have really struggled to stay healthy. And he kind of also hints at, yes, we may have 5 corners currently that we can depend on, and LaMarcus Joyner is going to play free safety. He's also going to probably slide in a little bit of cornerback. It's why they went out and got him. But when I listen to Jon Gruden talk about the cornerback position, we know it's a pass-happy NFL league. Just the way it is. And when you're going up against Phillip Rivers, Patrick Mahomes, a lot of these players, you know, it's one of the reasons why Gruden is saying that he needs to add another cornerback, and I'm kind of interested, and I'm going to be releasing a video pretty soon on trades that the Raiders could make. Maybe the Raiders could trade up for one of these top corners if one of they slide, and I've heard rumors around Greedy potentially sliding. Byron Murphy's a cornerback that I like a lot. I put him in my last mock. DeAndre Baker. Now, Trayvon Mullen and Rocky Sin, these are other cornerbacks who are interesting and top corners, but when you look at the top 3 corners in this draft, it's Greedy, it's Byron, it's DeAndre Baker. And when I listen and hear that Gruden is saying we need another corner, it's making me wonder if the Raiders are going to draft a corner in the 1st round. Raider Nation, I got a question. Okay, you ready? What did you do this weekend? And if you're like, why am I even asking this? It's because I like to know. I like to get to know y'all. I want you guys to get to know me so I have a better understanding of what you do. If you want to know what I did this weekend, hit me up on IG or Twitter at MitchellRenz365. Speaking of Instagram, I want to give a shout out to some of my loyal Instagram followers. And if you guys don't already follow me on IG, it's at MitchellRenz365. So Nico Castro19 has literally slid in my DMs for the past week saying, put me on the show. Nico, there you go. Samoan Raider, if you see me, you want me on your little IG live, get at me. Matt, Drewski, J Blogs, or J Bollogs. Love you guys. Raider Nation, go give all these guys a follow. And let's give a shout out to the people on Twitter who follow me at MitchellRenz365. Kings Arthur, Ramiro, love you, man. Josh916, Prez2 Ward, Charlton, you're my dude. And then at Johnny Madden. Take a screenshot of the IG and on Twitter. Share it. Let's grow Raider Nation. Last rumor. Yeah, you ready? Are the Raiders going to draft Drew Lock? This one's two Chucky heads. And I think people are talking. Now, on my last show, I gave it 0 Chucky heads that the Raiders would trade up for Lock at number 2. I still think that. But a source very close to me or here at Chat Sports, said that Gruden is absolutely in love with Drew Lock. And that source has also said that Gruden wants to draft Drew Lock in round 1. And we know that Jon Gruden loves quarterbacks. It's kind of like me and blondes. I love them, but that doesn't mean you need to go out and get them. So just the fact that Gruden loves Drew Lock, and he says that he wants to trade up for Drew Lock, me personally, I hope that these rumors are not true. But it is starting to scare me a little bit because the more and more I hear from my source, who I do consider very reliable, is telling me that the love affair with Drew Lock is legit. And sure, when I look at 2018, it wasn't his best year. You want to look at Drew Lock's best year, it's his junior year in Missouri. 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in his senior year at Missouri with a 62.9% completion percentage. What scares me a lot of times, though, is when I look at his 4-year career at Mizzou, man, the dude had a 57% completion percentage. Like, I listened to Tom last year rant and rave about Josh Allen, about how he's not good because of a completion percentage. Those numbers scare me. And if we're really looking at drafting Drew Lock in round 1, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be very, very angry. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. One word, okay? Don't cheat. One word to describe your feelings on drafting Drew Lock in the first round of the 2019 NFL Draft. I want you to put it below, all right? So if you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on YouTube, one word to describe your feelings on drafting Drew Lock. I'm going to say one word, and it's goodbye. And if you want to say goodbye to commercials forever, download the MyTV Choice app today at mytvchoice.com. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.